What's going on? What the goings on, y'all? You know what I mean? You understand me? Already. You know what I'm talking about? It's early today. You know what I mean? I ain't even got nothing to drink, nothing. You know what I'm talking about? We're gonna get straight to it. We gonna do the fluids. You know what I'm talking about? The Pistons won again. Hey, the Pistons won again. About time. We definitely needed that. You know what I'm talking about? Cause you was on a 2-game losing streak, and it was a ham sighting. So I guess we all eating pork today. You know, what I'm talking about I ain't no pork eater, but I guess I gave me a little slice already. But we gonna get into these playoffs, and then we gonna get into some of this funky stuff. And then we gonna get on up out of here, y'all. You know what I'm talking about? It's a light day, you know what I'm talking about? I ain't do much. I went to the doctor yesterday, plus, you know what I'm talking about, the playoffs. I kind of sat back and relaxed, you know what I'm saying? I ain't even get on my gram like I normally do. You know what I mean? We ain't gonna talk much like we normally do. You feel me? I'm still gonna do my fidgeting though, as you can see. You know what I mean? Already. But let's get into it. We got the LA Lakers versus the Houston Rockets. LeBron. Shout out to you, young LeBron. You know what I'm talking about? You had 26 points, you know what I'm saying? Three rebounds and 7 assists. You passed the ball quite well. You was actually facilitating, you know what I'm talking about? A little this, a little that, you know what I'm talking about? Only thing I can say is you should have laid off the threes. Once you missed like 3 of them in a row, you should have been like, you know what, I ain't gonna shoot no more. But you was 0 for 6. That's a bad little fix. But it's something we can fix surely than not. You know what I'm talking about? Hopefully in game 6 you gonna get rid of them. Cause if you don't get rid of them, this might be one of them games where, you know what I'm talking about? This might be a do or die situation. I think they might be able to pull off the 3 in a row little situation. You feel what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? Go on, get rid of them now, cause they is young. You know, young people. You know, they get a boost of energy. You know what I mean? We don't need them to get no boosters, sir. Shout out to you though, and I want to give a shout out to Mr. Adon. Hey, 18 and 17, good game, sir. Good game. I ain't knocking no hustle, okay? Good job, young man. Shout out to the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Toronto Raptors. Now this game wasn't on TV, so I'm just gonna give a quick recap and we're gonna keep it moving. The score was 105 to 120 in favor of the Cleveland Cavaliers. You know what I'm talking about? The record is 3-2. You know what I'm talking about? That's pretty much all I can give up. I mean, you know, RJ Barrett, Mr. Lefty, he did his job. He had 28. And then Harden and Mitchell, you know, it was subpar games. They ain't really, you know what I'm talking about? They ain't shoot you out the gym, but they also ain't let you win neither. You feel what I'm talking about? Nigga, I'm telling you, this might be a game 7 game too. It might be some game 7s on Sunday. You know what I'm talking about? For real. But anyway, let's get to the game you know I want to talk about. You know what I mean? The Pistons win again. Hey, the Pistons win again. Hey, shout out to you know what I'm talking about? Young man. How you doing, young man? Shit, Beninchero hit a shot off the glass. He was so hot. You know what I'm talking about? He was going to work. Somebody said he shot a shot. I don't know. It was an N1 shot, man. He did a little lefty. I mean, it did a little. I don't know if it was you know, that Michael Jordan layup. I don't know if it was the Michael Jordan layup kind of move, but it was something to such. And you know, he had 45 points though. He was going to work. Every time the Pistons thought they was gonna make a run, he would shut it down. He was hitting threes. They wasn't even hitting threes. There was a couple other people that hit threes, but he was hitting threes when they needed it. You feel me? Even sometime when they didn't. I think the Pistons led damn near the whole game. Yeah, if I ain't mistaken, they led the whole game. I watched the whole game, so I'm pretty sure they led the whole game. And every time you thought they would get, they only the score was 106 to 109. You feel me? They won by 7, but they was keeping it to 6 damn near every time they would go on the run. They went up to like 17. And the Pistons was, listen, Beninchero was like, hold on. You thought you was running. You ain't going to run away from me. We gonna keep it close. And then Frank didn't play. Talking about his calf. Sir. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all better watch out. Because the series is 3-2 in favor of the Magic. But you better watch out, Game 6. Y'all need to come out and do y'all thing, okay? Now listen. Ham, you went to work. Ham had 45. Every time Beninchero would go to work, Caden Cunningham would go to work too. Nah, we ain't gonna count Ham out. Ham had 45. Ham was hamburgerling, okay? Every time they was still a burger, he would come and he would put the ham down. You feel me? Couldn't nobody really check him. I think Beninchero checked him a few times, but shit, Beninchero got to make offense. So he couldn't check him every time. Usually Frank got him, but Frank decided he didn't want to play that game. I mean, it's good. It's good strategy, but let's see if you come out cold, hey, the Pistons won again. The Pistons won again because Ham warm. He like a nice country ham right now, okay? He's sizzling in the oven and he baking shit. You feel me? So if Frank come out and do what they do, we might have an 8-1 upset. I love the Pistons. The Pistons is my team. You feel me? I'm always going to root for the home team. This is what I do. This is who I am. This is who I'm always going to be. So I'm always going to respect what's going on at the crib, whether you winning or losing. You feel me? This is more of a suggestion. JP Bickerstaff, where is Hollins at? Hollins only played one game this series. He need to play, bro. We need his offense. I mean, his defense is okay, and he gets in foul trouble sometime. I respect that. You know what I'm saying? But Mr. LeVert ain't doing nothing. Go blue, but he on one leg, sir. We need 2 legs for this series. I'm just saying, you know what I'm talking about? You ain't got to take my word for it, but I'm usually right. Yeah, he should have been in more of this series. I mean, it might be a little too late. It all depends on if Frank want to come back. If he don't come back in Game 6, best believe in Game 7, you might be in trouble, sir. But shout out to him. Oh, I also want to add this before we get up off of here. We going into some of this riffraff. JD, sir, you had 12 points and 9 rebounds. You didn't show up until like the 9 minutes into the fourth quarter, and you started off good. The first quarter you were straight. We don't have time for them type of lapses. Shout out to Azar Thompson. He was all over the place, jumping, bumping, slapping, yapping. He was doing everything he needed to do. That motherfucker looked like a young Dennis Rodman. I should have wrote his stats down, but I ain't even feel like it. Between him and Tobias Harris, the old man, let y'all tell it, I feel like an ancient man. But Tobias had fucking 23 and fucking 8 boards. He was making shots when Cade Cunningham couldn't make a shot. Tobias came and made a shot. That's what we need you to do, AD. We don't need you to get in your feelings or whatever you got going on in your head. You need to get out that motherfucker and play basketball, sir. We playing basketball. You be a deer in the headlights. You think you moving and grooving that first quarter, and then you just don't be moving or grooving. Seem like they be boxing you out, they be putting you on the back burner, all type of shit. But I appreciate you, Tobias. I appreciate you, Mr. Thompson. Y'all did y'all due diligence. You know what I'm talking about? And the Pistons won again. Maybe a little bit more offense, but y'all ain't offensive bound. And what happened to DJ? DJ just disappeared? What the fuck is going on? Excuse my language. I don't mean to offend or harm anyone. But this is getting ridiculous. You come off the bench and you don't do nothing? Think you have 6 points? You paid 12 minutes. You had a few assists, but you was jumping and bumping around too. I mean, you probably did a little bit more jumping and bumping than Aiden did. I just be mad because you big for nothing. I see if you could come off the pick and roll and hit a jump shot, but you coming off the pick and roll and just keep going to the basket, they own it, sir. Well, at least with Tobias, if they do the pick and roll, they gotta honor his jump shot. They gotta honor him going to the basket. They gotta honor that man. But y'all ain't do enough of that pick and roll. I think if you do enough of that pick and roll, the first and second person gotta be honest now. You feel me? But y'all probably do a little bit of that in game 6. I hopefully. You know what I'm talking about? But we're gonna get on the ball for that because, you know, like I said, I love my team. So nigga, I can talk for forever. You feel what I'm saying? You understand me? But we're gonna get into some of this rhetoric. Top of my list. Shout out to Adrian Broner. And also a shout out to Gothic City God. I see you, Gothic City God. I see Adrian Broner. I didn't want to get this no limelight. It's been on my timeline for about a week. I didn't want to talk about that man because that man down and out. I ain't into kicking the motherfucker when they down. You feel me? But at the same sense, if I give you one, I gotta give you the other. That's his karma. Remember when he was up? When he was up, it was stuck. He was talking crazy. He was belittling motherfuckers when he got a chance. I remember a couple times where he talked crazy to a cameraman because he felt like it. Because he was inebriated. And people, of course, he do got wrong people around him, but them same wrong people still around. So they can't be too wrong. You know what I'm talking about? And some people are trying to big him up, but he still want to be an alcoholic. I had to leave the alcohol alone too. Made me a better person for real, for real. And that's what I want to say. You know what I'm saying? Make yourself a better person, sir. You know what I'm saying? They making you look bad. You on here asking for cash apps so you can get to the crib. Like, and then instead of him not taping it like you asked him to, he taped it. Like I said, that's your karma. Remember them times you was rich and famous, had all that money, and you was talking funny? It ain't so funny now. Now motherfucker want to pull out the sympathy card. I ain't with it, Gotham City, God. I ain't finna give you no sympathy. I just ain't gonna make it worldwide news. But hey, after about a week, you get tired. Then what made the cake for me was when you asked an influencer to give you a kiss, and that young lady was like, you know what I'm saying, she bypassed you. And instead of you just keeping it going and keeping it grooving, you want to do the Charleston White. Everybody can't be Charleston White. You on here, oh, I don't need to ask them for no kiss. I'm getting money, woo, woo, woo. And then in the same breath, you telling the cameraman to give you an Uber ride. It don't look light on you, good brother. You know what I'm talking about? You got to keep it moving and grooving if you're going to keep it moving and grooving. And what they used to say, what Unc used to say back in the day, keep your fronts up. You can't front no more, can you? You know what I'm talking about? You in the casino acting a fool with another streamer. Like you all over the place with it. And then you tried to fight the streamer. Like, come on, bro. You got to pick your poison. You either do or you don't. You feel me? Maybe you need to get back into training. You was good when you was moving around and grooving around. You know what I'm talking about? Try to get you a fight or two. Get your money, get your bread right. Get your name right. Get your game right. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to you though, Adrian Broner, man. I hope shit get greater later. Right now, you just paying your karma back. That's it. That's all. And with that, we're gonna go into the KKK walk. So I guess somewhere in New Jersey, I'm thinking it was. I'm not sure. Somebody, everybody pulling their cameras out these days. So I guess somebody was walking up the street with a white cloth and a white hat, and someone taped him. You know what I'm saying? We even had boutiques wanted to get their little interview on, talking about some. I was embarrassed. You wasn't embarrassed. You just so happened to see a camera and wanted to get in front of it. People be killing me. But I guess he was walking with his cloak on. And you know what I'm saying? Someone wanted to get in front of the camera. Talking about he was scared. How was you scared? You pulled your camera out, sir. That's telling. You wasn't scared. You was telling. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to Al Nuke. Al Nuke say they telling. Yeah, they telling. Shit, I might even be telling. I don't know. I'm looking at my stories now like, damn, am I telling too? I don't know. I be feeling like I'm viable information. Can't be telling. You know what I'm saying? I came from a different cloth, so you know what I'm saying? It might be intuitive, but I don't know about the whole rat situation. I just think motherfuckers, like I said, can't do it. And they just want to talk about it so they can do it. It's a difference. But, don't hear no there. We shall see. Shout out to Paris Jackson. I seen you do a commercial with that chocolate man. I hope that your video studio get off the ground. You know what I'm saying? I ain't been this my since the premiere of the Michael movie. I start following you again because I mean we ain't in the same genres. You like rock music and country music. Like I listen to it because I do everything, but it's just not my forte. So I can't talk about something that ain't. You know what I'm talking about? But I do like the movie. I'm gonna go check it out, see what it's about. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to you though, Paris Jackson. Shout out to Mr. Brown. Remember the young man? I put it in my story. You gotta remember. I put it in my story, my Instagram story, that is. And I guess Mr. Brown is suing the New York Police Department, or was that Pennsylvania? I'm not quite sure, but he's suing the police department for $1 million because they wrongfully arrested him. They said that he was in the store and he had on green shorts. This was the assailant that the police was looking for. But the police end up arresting the wrong person because teal and green is two totally different colors. It's the same color because teal is green, but teal and green do not look the same, sir. I don't care what you talking about, but I guess they just wanted to. They thought they colored the right person, but they colored the wrong person. So now he's suing for that money, and the way the police acted, and the way Mr. Brown looked in that video, he looked like he was toe up from the flow up. So he gonna get his money up. You understand me? Shout out to you, Mr. Brown. Nah, I'm finna get into something a little sticky. No, I ain't. Shout out to Mano. I heard your rap, sir. I actually like it, but you know what I'm talking about. You know how the world work. They waiting on Dread. So you might not get no spins like you want to, but they need to go and listen. Because you definitely gave out a few shout outs. Shout out to me for saying shout out. You know what I'm talking about? Nah, that's what it is when it do what it do. But shout out to you though, Mano. You know what I'm talking about? You're doing your thing, sir. Shout out to Erica Burke. Kirk, my bad. My apologies. I be big back bullying sometimes, so sometimes I don't be wanting to say that. So I say it like this. But shout out to you, Erica. I guess you wanted to go on your little rant, talking about Drewski, talking about Candace Owens, and how you was in whiteface all of a sudden, and now Candace Owens is bashing your name. I'm not gonna get into specifics of what you actually said, but you said Candace Owens is bashing your name, and people are being mean in the media. So what? I mean, your husband was murdered, sir, ma'am. Your husband was murdered. You feel me? They haven't found the murderer. They blamed you for it. And in any murder case, the first assailant or first witness or first anything is always the spouse, the boyfriend, or anything else that's got to do with the case. It's always the first. It's always the first. You know what I'm saying? You was the first person. So the first person always get blamed for the situation. They haven't been able to find anyone else. So you the culprit. Deal with it. You know what I'm talking about? And then at the end of the day, that's what your husband deal with every day. Every time Mr. Kirk came outside, he was saying something slick. And Charlie always had a Wilson. You feel me? He always was in the news for saying something outlandish. So what's gonna fall back on you is that such outlandish behavior. So you got to be able to deal with that and accept it for what it is. You can't get on here and complain. You in the media. Once you put your face in it with that sob story about war is me and war is you, because we have to investigate you now. What is you on there on the TV for? You know what I'm talking about? There's a lot of people that ain't on TV and they don't get talked about, and we don't care what they doing. You feel me? Speaking of not caring what they doing, but it ain't, I ain't write it down, but it is what it is. I guess Blueface Mama is in the media again. You know what I'm talking about? Talking about Ice Spice and how she put a video out and it looked crazy. See what I'm talking about? Come on, Erica. We're gonna talk about you. You something to talk about. You putting your information out there to be talked about. Don't get mad. And that's why I said, Al Nuke, why you think a nigga snitching? You told me about it. Anyway, shout out to Erica and all your endeavors, man. As long as you talking, we gonna keep talking. Stop talking. And we'll find something to do. And we're gonna talk about the next boo-hoo. But as long as you keep boo-hooing, this is what's gonna be going on when it's going on in the zone. You know what I'm talking about? Let's see who else we gonna talk about. Shout out and many blessings to Vin Rames. If you don't know who Vin Rames is, he was the father and baby boy. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to Vin Rames. You got the guns, and then you got the bada. You understand me? Already. Let's see what we gonna talk about. Shout out to LeBron James's wife. I ain't gonna get off into the ramifications of that because, you know what I'm saying, real nigga shit. That's cuz if you know, you know. So I don't talk about cuz like that. I don't talk about nobody's wife like that. Boyfriend, significant other. That's why the Klay Thompson and Megan Thee Stallion situation, I'm just not elaborating on it. This your second time, man. And that's pretty much what I said the last time. So, you know, I ain't gonna get off in that. So I'm definitely not gonna get off in cuz business. You know what I'm talking about? When baby boy retire, you know what I'm talking about? It is what it's gonna be. You feel me? And I believe in him, so that's what it do. Shout out to you though, cuz. Shout out to the man that went to sleep. So I guess the one of the servicemen that was guarding the president or sitting outside the president's Oval Office was asleep. And like I said, everybody pulls out their camera these days. So I guess they took a picture of him sleeping, then knocked on the window to wake him up. So you had to be in a deep sleep. You probably was snoring and everything. And in them cars that sit in front of the Oval Office, they got that thick ass plexi like glass. You know what I'm saying? They whole little car probably armored. He probably didn't hear you the first time. So you finally rolled the window down. He like, man, you can't be sleep on the job. What if I had a big gun and I was deciding to blow this or a bomb or something and decided to blow the place up? You wouldn't even know what was going on. You need to wake up or go home. You know what I'm talking about? Shit, you can sleep at the crib. You can't sleep on the job, sir. And that's true. You can't be, you guarding the most powerful man in the world. You sitting here knocked out. You got to be moving and grooving, sir. You can't be, you know what I'm saying, doing what you want to do, saying what you want to say. This ain't, you probably was looking at your Instagram story and fell asleep. You can't do that. You got to wake up. You got to be alert. You never know what's going on when it's in the zone. Shout out to you, though, good brother. I hope you don't fall asleep no more after this. You know, hope you wake the fuck up. Or you know how they do. They gonna listen. They gonna learn. They probably gonna end up terminating your lease, sir. Eviction looking at. You know what I'm talking about? You gonna get a new assignment. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be guarding the preschools now. For real, for real. Shout out to you sleeping though. I crack myself up sometimes. Shout out to the baby. You say you the best freestyle, huh? Shoot, okay. Yeah, you is the best freestyler. I guess you freestyled on LA Leaks. Should I say? Forgive me. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, it was straight. It definitely was good, sir. Oh, you know what I'm saying? I don't even care if you do no more at this point. I ain't gonna lie though. Other than the game, oh, I might have to do some research to see who had the best freestyle because off the top of my head, I can remember that one. You know what I'm saying? It's probably a few. Oh, T.I. Yeah. So the baby, the game, T.I. It might be two or three others that I ain't thinking of right now on LA Leaks. They had a good freestyle, but them off the top of my head is what I can remember. I'm gonna go. Excuse me. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna look. And we gonna see. Might have to come back to this. And I want to give. I was gonna say shout out, but I'm gonna give my deepest respects to Delonte West. You came a long way, sir. You know what I'm talking about? And you doing good. I'm so proud of you, bro. It's been a hell of a journey, huh? I see you finally getting it together. You know what I mean? Your life starting to change around. There's many blessings and many turns that you done had. You know what I'm talking about? I literally watched when people tried to say your life numerous of times. I don't know at this point if it was for clicks, if they was baiting me. I don't know. Excuse me. I don't know what they was doing, but every time I see your situation, I get a little emotional and a little starstruck and a little of everything. Everything rushes at one time. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad you're doing good, sir. He was one of the Delonte West was definitely one of the best lefties in the business. You know what I'm talking about? Let's see. Now we finna get into a little sticky icky, and then we gonna get on up off of here. So I guess Birdman's nephew, his name is Benzo187. I don't know if this was a clickbait moment as well, you know what I'm talking about? But I guess he went on there and said that NBA YoungBoy basically ain't real. All his little situations, you know what I'm saying? I guess the murder of Jay Money as well. Yeah, that's snitching for sure. Yeah, Al Noop, that shit crazy, nigga. I'm just reporting with what you reported, so they telling. You know what I'm talking about? And when they stop telling, I'll stop telling. I'm just gonna go in a different avenue though. I wear many hats, sir. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do one, then do the other, then do the other, then do the one. I love being on the ones and twos. This is what I do, sir. And I'm gonna keep this mask on and I'm gonna keep running my mouth. Cause my mouth gonna keep running. Been doing this a long time. Very long time. You just not knowing who I am. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to you though. Again. This is like my second time. I guess I got frustrated when the motherfucker wanted to say what they was gonna say. And then you had 9 people in there. And I was one of them. So, but shout out to Birdman's nephew, Benzo 187, and him exposing NBA YoungBoy, saying he was just rapping. And to be truthfully honest, once you done made all that money, what you supposed to do? Nigga, I ain't finna keep rapping about this no more. I can insinuate, though. You feel me? I'm gonna go and tell on myself if that was something to tell on. You feel me? I'm gonna do the Donatello for sure. I'm just painting shit, remaking the making. You know what I'm talking about? And making it bacon. That's all. Learn how to make it bacon. It's gotta sound interesting in order for it to fly. So I guess niggas is don't know how to do that, so they just letting it fly. You know what I'm saying? And people don't mind exposing you if you don't mind. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind. Hey, I don't mind. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? We gonna go on and get up off of here. This was a light session today. You know what I'm talking about? And you know what I mean? We're gonna tell the story like it is. You understand me? So with all that being said, as the old saying goes, the smoke's gone, I'm gone.